Hi, I'm Marie and welcome to my wildlife garden in July.
This month in the Wildlife Garden, we're focusing on supporting baby animals. Also, stay tuned to find out about a few new visitors we've had to the garden since the June update. Before we get into looking around the garden, please do subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. It really helps us out. And if you have any questions about the garden, please put them in the comments. It's been a very hot and dry summer so far here in southeast England, so it's more important than ever to keep your water sources topped up, including ponds and bird baths. Water in gardens is literally a lifesaver for wildlife in hot weather and is probably the most important aspect of a wildlife garden at this time of year. If you don't have a water source, adding one is super easy. A simple tray of water does the trick, and for a long time that's all we had. But this spring, we also added a mini pond. I'll add a link to the short that I did showing how we made it. It was really easy and really quick. A pond will be greatly appreciated by all wildlife in your garden and will attract a greater diversity of species. Our mini pond has been in place for a few months. The first life we noticed was some midge larvae, but this month we've also noticed that we've got some pond snails, so we're really happy with how the pond is coming on. You may also find that you need to water your plants in dry spells, especially newly planted ones, using water from your rain barrel. Now is a good time to sow nectar-rich plants for next year, such as foxgloves, honesty and teasels. Watering in early morning is best, before the sun gets too strong, or the next best option is late evening. Resist temptation to water your lawn, however brown it gets, because lawns recover really quickly once rain returns. You can help your lawn though by mowing less often and raising the cutting height. By letting the grass grow a little bit longer, it will root deeper and will be more resistant to drought. Also, let the clippings fall back into the grass to act as mulch to hold in moisture. You may find that your grass stops growing altogether in dry conditions, in which case you can take a break from mowing. It's also important to keep your bird feeders topped up this month, as there are a lot of fledglings around and many species are still nesting. Providing high energy foods such as suet and sunflower seeds gives birds a boost at this time of year. We've noticed a lot of magpie fledglings using the feeders at the moment, and also a lot of young squirrels. It's important that you make sure to clean feeders and water trays regularly to prevent the spread of disease. Another young animal you might be lucky enough to spot in your garden in July is hedgehogs, who will be leaving the nests for the first time and learning to forage on their own. Hedgehogs can be fed with meat-based dog or cat food, preferably chicken flavour, and water, and this will help them to fatten up before going into hibernation in late autumn. Consider a hedgehog feeding station to deter foxes and cats. It's actually not a good idea to regularly feed foxes, but there are plenty of other ways that you can help them. See my fox backfile video for more information. Frogs, toads and newts are also still emerging from ponds this month and looking for damp and shady shelter. Creating log piles and leaf piles in your garden are perfect for them. And also, planting low-growing plants around ponds will also provide shelter for baby frogs. Long grass also works well for this, and it's also good to have an area of long grass anyway, just to provide habitats and food for insects. We have an exciting amphibian update here. We have a new toad living in our garden. I'm so excited about this. This footage was captured on a phone, but we've recently purchased a wildlife camera with night vision, so I hope to capture more images of the toad for future updates. Take care when mowing this month, if you are mowing, to avoid harming any amphibians that may be sheltering in your lawn. You may need to avoid mowing for a couple of weeks to enable them to disperse safely. The same is true of hedges. Be cautious when trimming hedges this month, as birds may still be nesting. Some species are nesting as late as August, so it's best to put off trimming until September. As with all times of year, continue to compost or start a compost heap to create nutrient-rich material for your garden from garden and kitchen waste. Compost heaps also attract invertebrates, which are good for the health of your garden and provide food for larger animals such as amphibians, which can also take shelter here. Also, continue to avoid pesticides or slug pellets, as they kill off food for larger wildlife and can sometimes poison them directly. Finally, remember to take time to enjoy your garden. Lazy afternoons in the sun, observing the wildlife you've attracted, or meals enjoyed outside are perfect activities for a summer garden. Stay tuned for our August wildlife garden tour next month, and please do subscribe if you'd like to see how our wildlife garden is getting on. See you next time!